Hi everyone, this is myubae and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about most played games on the Nintendo Switch. When I play a game for a long period of time, it has to be on a day when I'm free. Just like this. Fun times. I'm sure I'm not alone on this one. Anyway, let's talk about our video game picks. Take it away, Chris.
Hey everybody, my name is Monkman Chris. You guys can call me Chris. Thanks myubae for letting me be part of this collab. And I'm just going to get right into it. So the Switch game that I have the most playtime in is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's not even a long shot to even look. This is what I have the most hours in. So yeah, Breath of the Wild, longest playtime. I think I've played through this game about 4 or 5 times. I've only finished it, I would say 3, which funnily enough, for as long as I have in this game, that's like the lowest amount that I've played through all the Zelda games that I've played through. Like I've played through Skyward Sword about 6-7 times, Twilight Princess 6-7 times. Haven't played Wind Waker. Look at you, Nintendo Switch 2, with your GameCube stuff. But yeah, longest playtime. I think it's just because this game, you get kind of sucked into it very, very easily. You're like just running around in the wild. Maybe you do a shrine and you're like, oh, what's that over there? You do that and you're like, okay, cool, that's done. And then you get sidetracked again, and then yeah. So it gets to be like you're like 40 hours in and like, oh, I haven't touched the main quest at all. I've just been doing stuff around the map. But yeah. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild definitely have the longest playtime in, and it's probably one of my favorite Zelda games. Tears of the Kingdom is, the newest sort of iteration of it, but I think this one captured the magic to suck me into play for as long as I did. So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, longest playtime. Thanks again, myubae, for letting me be part of this awesome collab. It's always fun collabing with you, and I can't wait to see what everyone else picked. And yeah, don't forget to check out my channel, Monkman Chris, Instagram, all that stuff. Also, don't forget to support everyone else who's collabing on this. It's a very, very, really, really fun project. And yeah, on to the next person.
What's going on, everyone? My name is the Mad Belmont. Thank you so much to my buddy myubae for having me on for this video right here. I greatly appreciate you. So, when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, there were a lot of great games out there. A lot of games over the years between both of my Switches that I've had that I put a lot of time into. But there's one game on the Switch that trumps every single one of them, and it's a game you're probably not going to think of if you're thinking about me and what I like. It's actually Splatoon 2.
Say what?
No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Let me explain. Let me explain myself. Alright, so the reason why Splatoon 2 is my most played Switch game is because, I'll be honest with you, I did not think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did when I first played it, because it just looked kind of silly to me. And then I started playing it, and I started really getting the vibe of that game and how it worked with the paint and everything like that. And then once I started getting into it, then it clicked. And once it clicked, it became a regular part of my gaming rotation. And I would play it for at least a couple hours a day. Like, no joke. And so, as a result, that led to me putting over 300 hours into the game. No joke, I literally put that much time into that game because I was enjoying it that much. And I'm mad at myself for selling my first Switch, because I could have been able to keep going with the momentum there with that game, and I probably could have put even more time into it. But I will always remember the memories that I had playing that game going through certain events, picking a side, because it had those events where you would pick a side and represent it in matchmaking, and then at the end of the event, it would basically tally up all the matches that you played, and you saw what side would win, and I loved that whole thing about it. It made me want to play the game more, so I absolutely love Splatoon 2, and that all those reasons right there are the reasons why it is my most played game on the Nintendo Switch. Still to this day, nothing's come close to it. So there you have it. That is my most played Nintendo Switch game. Did it throw you off? Let me know down in the comments below, and let's see what the next person has to say.
As we speak, the most played game that I am playing right now is called Nice Day for Fishing, and it's from the creators of Viva Dirt League and also Team 17, the creators of Worms. And the story is very good. The story goes like this. This fisherman called Balin, he's minding his own business, but out of the blue, this sorcerer called Beridan decides to think it's funny to bring to the little beloved town of Honeywood the chest of abandoned souls. But these two muggers thought it was very funny to try and steal this chest of abandoned souls for themselves. So they reached over and smacked it out of Beridan's hands, and evil forces got released into the world and summoning this great demon that wanted to have this urge to destroy everything. See, this game is a parody of online JRPGs, but the joke is that all of the online players have disappeared, and the true hero suddenly becomes the fisherman, the NPC of the group. He gets possessed by the spirits in the chest, and he suddenly becomes the playable character and hero of the game. So an NPC becomes the hero who can go off and accept quests and level up. And how you level up is quite amusing. It looks like a typical fishing game, but these fish, they actually do attack you and your line, and you gotta use powers, power-ups, and health to try and get your catch. I don't want to say any more to avoid spoilers, but I highly recommend Nice Day for Fishing from the creators of Viva Dirt League and Team 17. It's no typical fishing game.
myubae, thank you so much for having me, and everyone else, thank you for listening to me. Please enjoy the next person, champions.
My most played Switch game? Well, I've played quite a few games for a long time. Bravely Default 2 for 140 hours, Breath of the Wild for 90 hours, Tears of the Kingdom for 130 hours, or Disgaea 5 for over 300 hours. My name is Shinky, and my most played Switch game actually isn't exactly a Switch game. The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past is the one game that I've played more than anything else on the Nintendo Switch. I have 782 hours using the Super Nintendo Online on the Nintendo Switch, and probably about 650 to 700 of those hours have been spent playing Link to the Past over nearly 100 different playthroughs. I've always loved this game, and it's among one of my favorite games of all time. Surely, a lot of this is nostalgia. Link to the Past is one of the few games that I associate with my childhood and growing up. Nothing was comparable to rushing home after school to turn on my Super Nintendo and play Link to the Past. And you know what? I still get that exact same feeling on my Nintendo Switch playing the exact same game. Whenever I'm in between games, or I don't know what I feel like doing at the time, or I need a little pick-me-up, by default, I just do another playthrough of Link to the Past. In fact, I won't lie, when I booted up Link to the Past to record footage for this segment, I ended up spending 8 or so hours just playing through the entire game. This is my happy place, and one of those games that improves my mood from the moment I hear the intro theme or that overworld theme. Few games can give me that serotonin boost that Link to the Past is capable of, and that's the sole reason why it's my most played game on the Nintendo Switch. Sure, it isn't exactly a Switch title, but, well, it's what I've played most on Switch. Thank you so much, myubae, for inviting me to talk about not only my most played Switch game, but one of my favorite games of all time. And if you enjoyed hearing about me reminisce about Link to the Past and want more Zelda and JRPG conversations, hopefully I'll see you over on my channel, Shinky JRPGs. So until the next one, have a wonderful day.
Hello you beautiful people, it's Pat from Frames here, and I'm back for more chatting of games. Thanks for having me on once again, myubae. This time for the most played game on Switch. Now, factually speaking, the game I've played the most on my Switch is probably Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But I chatted about that game last time, and I feel it would be mighty redundant if I chat about it again. So this time I'm going to pick a game that consumed the life for a good week or two as I blitzed through it. Because this game just sank its claws into me and didn't let go till I was finished. And that game do be Octopath Traveler. My god, did I play this game an obscene amount. This turn-based RPG is just a pure delight, from its visuals which are breathtaking and really tickle me good, with how they have things out of focus in the background and sometimes in the foreground. It's a visual that just causes the eyes to glaze over in pure bliss. I just really like how it looks. Then you have its combat, which I find is really bloody fun, from being able to break enemies' guards and push them further down the timeline of attacking order through your use of elemental attacks or weapon attacks that they are weak to. You also have boosts which you can save up over each turn in battle and can be spent to do strikes multiple times or perform more powerful skills. Its combat really comes together in a neat little package that will just keep you hooked. And its story, while not groundbreaking in any real capacity, is still a fun adventure to explore as you play through each of the 8 characters' stories. I'd also be remiss not to mention the absolute godly soundtrack this game provides. I'd often find myself humming some tracks from this and the sequel. And it's all these glorious elements that made this game something I was just glued to. I'd play it during my free time docked, and then at night I'd take it to bed and play handheld, like when I was a kid with my DS. And I very rarely play a handheld around the house with the Switch, which I also think speaks volumes to just how addicted I got to this. Octopath Traveler just had this unshakable grip on me. But what finally let me break free is the true final boss fight, which is just pure mean, and it broke me. It's horrible. Don't put yourself through it. It's not worth it. But even now, going back to the game to capture footage for this video, I found myself really getting into and wanting to clean up the few side quests I've yet to complete. So it still has its charm even after stepping away from when I beat it. So that do be my game I played a heap on the old Switch. So I'll leave it there and let another buddy describe their game that consumed them on their Switch. Thanks for having me on, myubae.
What's up everybody, it's Heartless here. I was asked to talk about one of my most played games, and I'd have to say, guess what? Elden Ring. That's right, I love the Elden Ring series. I wasn't a big fan of the Souls-like genre. I tried Shuriko like 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like, oh, this game sucks, I'll never play it. And I heard about all the lore for Elden Ring. I'm like, this sounds awesome. You got George R.R. Martin writing it. Gameplay looks awesome. I love role-playing games. Role-playing games since I've been like, I don't know, 6, 7. Zelda was my first game. And this game, tough as shit. It'll beat you. You keep on dying and dying and dying, and you can keep on going. My character build was actually Guts, because I'm just silly like that. I think I got about like 190 hours in this game. My character's build, you can't even tell. I haven't been home in months. Get the helm of Radon right there. But let's see. Yeah, Guts. Strip down his equipment. See his face. Yeah. Gave him a little mark on his face. But I get this on my PS5. Also have it on my Steam Deck so I can play on the go. I haven't been home in forever to touch this game, but it's so much fun. Also got the DLC for Shadow Erdtree. Haven't touched it because I've beaten a bunch of the secret bosses. I still have 3 of the regular bosses left in the game, but if you want something that's going to test your mental bandwidth of playing, not rage quitting, and still wanting to go for more and strive, I would say Elden Ring is definitely for you. And it's so much fun. Like, you just get to kill stuff, play an RPG, level up, and now there's online mode with Night Raid. I haven't done that yet, but I definitely recommend it. Check it out. Bye.
Hey folks, Jay from Cold Nights here, and when my good friend myubae asked me what game I had spent the most time on, On the Nintendo Switch, it was without a doubt Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Let's get into it. Hyrule Warriors is a Musou-style hack-and-slash game set in the Legend of Zelda universe. It was released in August 2014 in Japan and worldwide a month later. It's a collaboration between Nintendo and Tecmo Koei. 2 years later, the game would see an updated port with new characters and content on the 3DS. 2 years later still, it would be ported to the Nintendo Switch with all content included and enhanced graphics and gameplay. It would go on to be one of the top-selling games on the system. I found it so absolutely thrilling to slash my way through thousands of enemies with all of my favorite Legend of Zelda characters. And we are talking about characters from all across the series, from the first game, to Link's Awakening, to A Link Between Worlds. I specifically adored the Hilda-themed, dark-haired skin you could unlock for Zelda. I played relentlessly, every evening after work for months at a time. I must have put in 500 hours or more between the 3 iterations. Beyond the incredibly fun combat, there were treasure maps packed with nostalgic challenges from each game in the series. The retro look of these maps is truly incredible. There was also a mode where you could customize your furry's look and abilities to help you in combat, as well as play and interact with them. All of this is great, but the most important and marvelous thing about the game is simply the amount of characters and content on offer here. 29 playable characters, each with multiple outfits, weapons, and fighting styles. A fun story bringing them all together. It simply can't be beat. It's dangerous to go alone. Take Hyrule Warriors with you.
My most played game on the Nintendo Switch is Rune Factory 5. I've always been a fan of the Rune Factory games. I played a handful of them in my gaming journey. Rune Factory 4 was my first exposure to the game series. I really enjoyed it on the Nintendo 3DS. When I heard the game was coming out the year it came out, I was really excited. When I played Rune Factory 5, it took me a while to get a routine going until I played the main story. I remember that I didn't marry anyone in the game yet. I was really into the story and taking care of my crops. I liked interacting with the villagers in Rigbarth. They all have their own personalities. You'll eventually befriend and fall in love with someone. I like bringing along some of the villagers on little adventures outside of Rigbarth. I also enjoyed exploring the dungeons and fighting the monsters. Exploring the dungeons sucks a lot of time when you're having fun. I also enjoyed befriending some of the monsters for fighting in the dungeons or having them help out on the farm. Rune Factory 5 is on my top 3 Rune Factory games I played. With Rune Factory 4 is my number 1, Rune Factory 5 is at number 2. With the release of Rune Factory Guardians of Ozma, it'll be a tough contender for the top 3 spot. And as of this recording, I'm still playing Guardians of Ozma and it will shift my games around. And that concludes the collaboration. Huge thank you and shout out to all the creators who participated in this project. Please feel free to check out their channels and show them some love. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!